What's up, y'all? Y'all now tapped in with the Stamper Podcast. This is what, episode 20. We moving and grooving, y'all. We gonna keep going till we hit that 100 episode mark. But until then, this is episode 20. I got a very special guest in the building, someone that is killing the game, especially on the content side of the business. And someone I actually wanted to sit down and talk to for a while. We were supposed to get connected yesterday, but it fell through. But everything happens for a reason. But now we here today. We got Dominique in the building. What's up, Dominique?
Hi, nothing. What's up? How are you?
Man, I can't complain at all. Let me see. What did I do today? I did have a signing that I had to help a notary out with. Some discrepancy with the document. So what was supposed to be a 30-minute signing ended up turning to 2 hours and 30 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that definitely, but it went well. It just took a minute to get those documents. But hey, you gotta do what you gotta do.
I feel you.
What about your day? How was business today?
I had my first signing at 7 a.m. It was a simple deed. They found me on Notary Resume. It was like 5 pages. Took care of that. Then went and did a cash out refinance. Then did another cash out refinance. Then married 3 people. I had 3 elopements. Then came home, did 2 mentorship Zooms and taught a course. And now I am here with you. And that's my day.
So you've been working.
Working. Because tomorrow I'm only teaching a 4-hour course in the morning. And then I am taking the rest of the day off to take my
course. You teach
loan signing course. 4 hours. 4 hours, multiple documents, multiple packets, soup to nuts, beginning to end. Flow of the signing from getting credentialed and how to explain your documents or, not explain your documents. Right. Then complete dynamic, 4 hours, 4. So we're doing that in the morning. Then I'm taking the rest of the night off to take my kids to the autism fair in the park. So we're gonna have our family day, like me and my 3 kiddos. And then Sunday, I'm back at it.
Working. I respect the grind. A 4-hour course, I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm gonna break that up into days.
I asked them what they want to do, if they want to break it up in 2 parts or if they just want to sit through the whole thing. They tend to want to sit through the whole thing because it flows fast, because it's interactive. It's not like you're just sitting there waiting. I elaborate on what you want to elaborate on. It's completely interactive. You tell me like, okay, I don't need that, skip that. Yeah. Or can you explain that further, because I don't get that. Okay, can I see this? Absolutely. So we go through everything and I give them a list of like 200 signing services, the ones they should sign up with first and why, which ones I prefer. I love all signing services for any signing service people that are out there. But there are some that I prefer more than others.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. We all got a signing service. I mean, at some point there was a signing service that, that I like particularly more than another. I ain't gonna put the ones I don't like on black. I ain't gonna say I don't like.
Oh yeah, I never do. But just some of them are more organized and they give you more business. So, it's like the favoritism a little bit.
Yeah, the fees are much more friendlier than some.
Yeah. Like today, I really didn't want to leave the house 7 o'clock in the morning, and they hit me with 1 fee. And I was like, you know what? I don't think I'm the notary for you, but if you could they're like, it's 5 pages. I'm like, if you could do 125, they were like, how about 115? Okay, then I'll leave my house. But
I still take
that. No, I'll take it. That's fine. But I really didn't want to go, at all. But that's why I'm like, it's always because I always counter. I don't always counter. If it's a signing service that keeps me busy, then yeah, I will just accept it because I know that they're gonna call me the next day, and I know that I have them booked out for the next 2 weeks, so I know I'm gonna make that money back. But it really just depends. So you got to weigh the pros and cons. That's with any business.
Facts. So let's get right into it. We know that you teaching the class, right? So tell the people about yourself and how did you get into the notary business?
Okay, so I was the chief operations for an orthopedic practice. So I handled all the credentialing of physicians at 6 physicians that I credentialed. We were in 6 different hospitals all throughout the state of New York. We had 4 different offices throughout New York, Suffolk County, Nassau, and in the city. So I had to handle all of that, which I loved. I loved being busy. I loved 80-hour weeks, but I became a notary for convenience to the office because I did not have time to get things notarized. I didn't have time to leave the office. And, it didn't directly affect me. So I was able to notarize the documents for the office as it wasn't the money and the practices, they were not in my name. So yes, it was a matter of convenience. But I always kept multiple jobs because I got that New York hustle. Like I got that. I'm not asking nobody for nothing. Like I was married at the time. I don't care. I'm going on trips. I'm doing what I got to do. I'm going out. I didn't want to ask them for nothing, which is why I'm divorced now. So yeah, but you got to weigh it. I just always have that independent spirit. Like I don't care if I need it. I'm not going to ask. So, it became, and then I like when I was about to go on a trip, I would like pick up hours at like Bahama Breeze, which is a restaurant. So I would do like weekends there. And then I was like, you know what? I have my notary stamp, and one of my people that I had met with, one of the realtors I was working with to close on one of the signings, he was like, well, you're a notary, but do you do this? And I was like, no, but I can, because like I have 2 degrees. Why not? So then he was like, yeah, but you have to be like bonded and stuff. And I was like, okay. So I went and I got it done. It was easy. Like I didn't even like train for it. I eventually ended up taking LSS, like because I thought I was missing something. But then when I took it, I was disappointed because I was like, I already do this. Like, this is stupid. Like I thought, because, it was very like talked about. So I was like, oh, well, I kind of just trained myself and I took the course and I got everything. So I was like, maybe I don't need the course or whatever. And then when I had decided to make it my full-time business, I was like, well, let me make sure I really know everything. And I did. So I ended up seeing like, okay, well, he was like, yeah, well, you can get $250 for this if you just stamp. And I was like, okay, but that's 3 stamps. Like what? Like I thought, I was like, I'm missing something. Right. I said, how? Okay. And it was direct contacts. Like I had never worked with a signing service before now coming to Texas and making it my primary business, because everybody was direct. Because if you're opening up offices, you're working with realtors, you're working with escrow officers. When you're having those dinners with the physicians, you inviting who closed it. So I was very blessed with having those directs. And then I realized how much money I could make. So I was just signing, stamping, doing whatever. And that was my little side hustle. And then I ended up getting pregnant. I had a 10-year-old, and then I got pregnant 10 years apart. Don't do it. Very ghetto, not smart, just don't do it. But yes, I did. And then I had to think about it. I had to say, can I really work as much as I work? Because I missed a lot of my daughter growing up. Like she was always like with either my grandmother, and I got pictures of her walking. I got pictures of the things. I showed up to like mommy parent teacher night and like the events, but was I there for the little things? No. And hormones and stuff, they make you really like mushy. So I was like, man, I got to figure out how to make my own schedule, because I'm not having no more kids. So like, I got to be there for this one. And then I have little COVID, the third one, the 1-year-old, like, because, you were bored and you just do things, and then you got another baby. But yes, so I decided to take my skills and hone in on them and make it my primary business in Texas. So I did more training, but I knew everything, and I knew how to conduct a business differently because I still had that New York mindset. Mm-hmm. And I was able to facilitate certain things. And then having my background as being the chief of operations for an orthopedic practice, and understanding the respect that the receptionists need, and understanding how inundating the schedule can be for the person that you were trying to meet with, and just having that respect package, that put me ahead of the game in order to secure direct contacts here. So I was able to do more just with respect and common knowledge and being able to utilize that experience. And yeah, so now I'm very busy. I do weddings, I teach loan signing, I mentor. And I'm out here currently stamping all day, every day, up to date on paperwork, busy, and juggling my kiddos.
On your hustle, I respect it.
That's it.
So it's a lot to unpack there. So I want to start off with like making that move to Texas. How was that transition from you? Because moving from New York to Texas, that's like two different worlds.
I hated Texas for the first year and a half. I hated it. I was uncomfortable because I was like, everybody's too friendly, and that's weird. Because in New York,
everybody's
like
rude.
Not rude, but it's like we're busy.
Yeah.
So like we don't have time. Like we don't care how your day is. Unless we really care, then we'll ask. But if we don't want to, we're not going to do it. Here, everybody's like, how are you? Did you stub your toe when you were 12? And I was like, get away from me. Like I thought it was weird. Like it was uncomfortable. But then you start to like really understand and just see the way the people are. I had it in me. Like I packed up my kids last summer and I was like, I'm going to visit New York. I miss home. I miss my friends. And then I got into New York and I smelled the pollution. As soon as I drove in, I said, this air is dirty. I'm not used to this. And you don't realize how much it's nicer in other states until you leave for a while. So I do miss my friends. I do miss everybody in New York, but it's just not for me now. Like you just, you grow past it. Like I swore before I went back and visited that was where I needed to be.
Man. So when you did get to Texas, you building your notary business, what were some of those initial challenges that you faced in the beginning?
The personality differences between networking with people, because in New York, we tend to speak very fast. We're about business. There's none of that like, what is the word? Like, we don't need anybody to like sell us on certain things. It's kind of like, okay, you have this. How does what you have benefit me?
Yeah.
Point blank period. This is what I have. This is a service I offer. This is what I can do for you. This is a deal I have. You want it or not? And it's like, they want it, but you have your entire outline. The whole schmooze factor in Texas, I was not used to, because I was like, the New York in me, I'm like, why am I going to buy somebody a dozen donuts and they didn't give me no work? Like, I'm not spending money. Donuts like $12 and I'm supposed to go to 12 offices with $12 donuts. No, like I thought that was stupid. I do not buy donuts. I've secured plenty of contracts without buying a bunch of stuff. Will I show love to the people that keep me busy? Absolutely.
Absolutely.
But not to anybody, because you don't get anything for free. Who's just walking around handing you stuff and you're not even proving that it's even a worthwhile connection?
Yeah. I see a lot of notaries that do that before they even prove themselves of any, before they give any value. They just think, here, I'm gonna just drop this gift basket off of treats. And all they doing is saying, thanks, I don't gotta buy lunch. We'll call you when we call you.
See, you agree. Me, I'm like, what? You did what? Right. They're like, I'm $500 into the hole from marketing and I didn't get any calls. Ooh. What did you buy?
Yeah.
Like, I was like, what? I was like, no.
Yeah, my thing is like market to them, like demonstrate your value first. So my whole thing, obviously, just like the real estate game, the notary business is all about relationships, networking and adding value. So my thing is, if you're going to do that, you should do it after the fact. So if I send you some referrals and I'm helping you get new business coming in and it actually goes in your favor, and then you actually send me some business and it happens to go in my favor, then I might send you a Starbucks card, just to show my appreciation, show my gratitude for you sending me business. But I'm
But
not
before you go anywhere, you have to be able to tell the person how you add value. Like, how can they use you? They're not going to know. They don't know the intricate details of what you can provide. Only you
right,
know that.
right.
We can say the same thing all day long. I'm a notary signing agent and I specialize in the notarizations of real estate and commercial loan documents.
Yeah,
What does that mean? That's like Chinese to somebody who isn't in our business.
yeah,
If you look up, okay, I'm going to a doctor's office. I can notarize your medical record release forms, your record authorizations, power of attorneys, durable power of attorneys, whatever you need, I can notarize. And I'm convenient. I provide accessibility, reliability, communication, and you know me. So when they ask you, all your patients are already comfortable with you. So whether you need something notarized or they're just talking to old doc and they say, listen, I got to find a way to make it to the bank. My leg hurts. Well, guess what? I can go to their house or meet them here. And that's how and that's more realistic to where now they can visualize, oh, wow, that is convenient for my practice, for my patients. It does add value. I can now help my patients more. So now they love old doc. So when I'm hitting them with their deductible, they'll be like, yeah, and doc had that notary that came there for me. Simple relationship building.
facts. Build the relationship first, then the business will come.
Mm-hmm.
Simple as that. So,
Yeah.
so you also say you do weddings, and this is something that again, this year 2021 is where I really seen like coming in contact with notaries who offer that service. Because again, I'm like, what's the point of doing that? Where is there any real money in marrying somebody? But when I talking to Sully and talking to Tierra, you hearing the numbers that's coming across, I'm like, hold on, man, I'm gonna have to get ordained real quick and might tap into this service.
That money is there. Okay. That money is there. When I tell you, some people just love each other so much, they just want to get married and they just really love each other. Like I have my base package, and for an elopement, there's no customization of the script or anything. I get paid very well for that. That's like no extras, no gems, no consultations, no nothing. That's same day. If I'm not traveling to you and you want to come to me, fine, I'll marry you right in the parking lot, $80 to say a script that I already have printed out. I ask you your name right before I say it. That's it. How do I pronounce your name? Oh, okay. Well, that's fine. Done.
How'd you
Simple.
get into it?
I got into it because my friend was getting married, and it was a very eccentric wedding, and she did not want because when people think of ministers, they think of like old, like very churchy middle-aged men, and they're like, that's not who I want to marry me. But in New York, you do have to be registered, so I had to look into that and whatever, because I'm all for like the cause. And then I realized that like it is something that I could do and I could offer like part-time, but again, in New York, I wasn't marketing. Like there was no marketing. It was like word of mouth, which was way easier. Now we're in the realm of where now there's an influx. So you have to market, and you have to just put marketing isn't bad if you already think outside of the box, you're consistent and you have a set business plan.
Mm-hmm.
But even with wedding officiating, I'm like, I've been doing it so long and I know what works for me. I know the little things that I do to add value, to make it different. And I know what gets people to come back and who to refer me to. Like I do, like nobody ever had a divorce notarization package too. Like I have wedding packages and I have an I did, I'm done package. For a set rate, I will notarize the entirety of your divorce paperwork. Why not? That's thinking outside of the box.
Facts.
So like, even if you want to marry her, if you don't like her tomorrow, we could do the same thing, same time, done.
That's what
I'm serious.
I do, I'm done.
I did, I'm done. That's it.
I did, I'm done package. Y'all tap
Yep, that's it.
Right. That's hilarious. So I definitely, and this is perfect segue to talk about marketing. Now, it's a lot of notaries that know how to perform a particular service. They know the ins and out of the process, but the one thing that holds them up is the marketing. The marketing. So can you please give the folks, tell notaries, like, just give some insights and the importance of marketing on your business and why. And also too, I want you to also touch on why you absolutely don't need to be the smartest notary and actually in order to get business. Because I'll be the first one to tell you, I absolutely don't know every single thing.
You don't need the Queen's English in order to go and add value. You just have to be confident in what you know how to do. You already know how to do it. I don't care what anybody's saying on YouTube. First of all, like I tell everybody, I don't knock YouTube. Anybody who has a YouTube channel, that's wonderful. But if you're really going to, for me to explain a jurat to you or an acknowledgement and the difference, it will take me 37 seconds. Yeah. That's not a YouTube video.
Yeah.
So obviously they have to add emphasis. They have to add the cons. They have to make it lengthy because they need to hit a mark. So in order for you to be confident in marketing, you know your brand. When you came into this business, you're not like, we're two totally different people. And we're both making money. We're both focused on different facets. You're very good at what you're doing as far as branding out, being on social media, going live, doing a podcast. That's not something I'm good with. Like, I don't even go live. I will do Zoom classes because I can say what I want to say, but I won't even go live. But I'll be the first one on TikTok. Like, you have facets. Yeah, you have facets, but you just have to know, like, what's true to you. If there's a certain word that's uncomfortable for you, please don't go and with a printed script and memorize this printed script, and then you can't even say the words correctly. There are ways to say things to where it's true to you. Mm-hmm. Do you get what I'm saying? If I can't say Worcestershire sauce, I'm not going to say that. I'm not. Even with conducting weddings, if you can't say and the desires of everything, no. Okay, so the love you share, that doesn't make it any less important. That doesn't make it have any less value. Mm-hmm. You have to be comfortable and confident. You have to believe in what you're doing, because guess what? How much money did you spend coming in? I know people spent a lot more money than I did coming into this because they are easily influenced. All it takes somebody to pop up on things, say, bam, you need this. And they're like, yes, I do. Yeah. I'm not that. Like, I don't even look at people in the mall. Like, if they're like, oh, let me shine your shoe. No, I don't see you. Like, I look right through people. Right. There are other people that are like, oh, okay, yeah, you're right. That shoe, yeah. And you have them. And I don't want to be like, they're not really looking into it. But if you're confident and you believe in what you can provide, you won't have a problem marketing because your client mirrors you. Yeah. If you look like you don't know what you're talking about, or if you look like you're second guessing yourself, if you're fumbling over your words, they're not going to feel confident giving it to you. I don't care if I've never seen a document before. I'm like, and this is your complete deed of trust. And if right here, if you could look this over, you just sign the bottom and it's easy. I don't know what the hell that document said. That's not my job. I don't know what it said, but guess what? I said the title very confidently and they want to sign because that's for them to look it over. I feel like a lot of people overthink and you don't have to. Yeah. We're not attorneys. We don't have to overthink, but you have to believe in what you're doing and what you can provide. If there are certain things that you're not comfortable with, don't advertise for it. Just because I'm doing estate planning, if you're not comfortable with estate planning, do not advertise for it. Don't do it. Do what you're comfortable with. And you can always niche down. Just because I go market everywhere, I've also been doing this 7 years. So I'm comfortable marketing everywhere. I'll go market at a food truck. I don't care. I'm like, well, you're going to need a car title transfer when you upgrade this truck. Who you going to call? Ghostbusters. And that's me. My personality is completely different. There's other people that will be like, I'm a notary and this is why you would need me. I let my personality carry me and people resonate with my personality. And then there's some people who are like, no, but it's different. That's why I could teach a 4-hour course because I make it fun. Like, we're not sitting there. I'm not reading every slide verbatim because you can read too. And you're getting your materials at the end of the course. If you need me to elaborate on anything, I will. But you also have to like lead and be yourself. There's probably 10 people that are Dominique and they can be signed by Dominique, but are they going to do it like me? No. So I don't care what the next person is doing. I don't look at what you could look at what other people are doing for inspiration. I've had people that came to me and they were like, I want to have a cartoon made, but I don't know if you're going to be upset. Why?
Oh my goodness.
Why?
You don't have to be super innovative. You don't have to be innovative.
You don't.
You don't have to reinvent the wheel. If you see something that's working for someone in their marketing, copy them, do it.
Then try it. Try it. And if they do have a problem, then guess what? They're not busy. They're not making enough money.
Right.
Why are they worried about you? Bye. Right. Who cares? Anything that I give, even my ebooks, I tell them, I give them full flyers. I give them examples of everything. And I say, listen, this is all. And I have to say it multiple times in the course. This is all for you to use. If you want to use it verbatim, use it verbatim. If you want to change it, then change it. Why are you taking a course or obtaining information and then you feel like somebody's going to look at you because you have to reword the whole thing? That defeats the purpose. You're supposed to, you're taking a course to shorten the curve, right. Not for somebody to be on your page talking about, oh, I got them packages. I don't care.
Right. And that shows that, and that all goes back to like your confidence. Like if you're going to be in business for yourself, you have to be very confident in what you, in your approach, and with the type of service that you provide. Like, especially if you got family, you got kids, like the last thing you should be worried about is somebody else's opinion, because them people's opinions ain't paying your bills at the end of the day. Like, worrying about their opinions is not going to get you that client that you want to work with, you know.
And let me tell you, I was not the most confident person, but I believe in my craft. Now, if you call me and you're like, oh, well, you should try this dress on, I'm not putting it on, because in my mind, I'm still 400 pounds. I'm not doing that. Yeah. Like, I am not confident in certain aspects, but I know what I'm doing, and I know what I'm doing. So you call me about loan signing, notary work, wedding officiating. If you call me about medical records, I used to teach medical billing in a school in Suffolk County. You call me about that, I could tell you verbatim. I can absolutely teach you. I'm confident in that.
Yes. Yeah, you got to be confident in your approach. You got to be confident in what you do. And so let's talk about some marketing strategy. So folks tend to think that they only got to do cold calling. And I know folks is real scared of the cold calling. And like me, I'm not going to sit up here and act like I just cold call every day, because I really don't. I do it every so often, you know, for the most part. But, you know, it's so many marketing strategies that you can take on, whether it's networking, whether it's cold calling, whether it's social media, which is my favorite, because that's where you get access to billions of people that's on the internet, and they get to see what type of service you provide, and they also see your personality as well, right? So talk about what's your favorite marketing strategy that you like to leverage, and what you think that notary should look into more often.
I feel like social media is amazing. I feel like networking, connecting with people, like I could tell you my favorite notary people are not people that are here in Houston, not people I've ever met before, except there's one notary that is in Texas, but she's not even close to me, and I just love her. But I'm like, oh yeah, I love him. And I'm like, Grizel, I love her. I've never been in the same room with y'all a day in my life. And it's like social media connected us to where we're all showing each other love. We all show up for each other. If, we're quick. If I'm like, yeah, I'm running this, I know y'all are going to be there. You might be late because you got something to do, but I know you're going to be there. Every time y'all have something, I'm there. Why? Because it's like a genuine love. There's never anything like when you can connect with people to whereas you can do the same things and it's not anything bad, like at all. Like we're all, first of all, anybody who's in this business and they get upset with what somebody else is doing, we all have the same niche. There's not a million different ways to do the same thing. Yeah. Now we all do it a little differently. We add a little pizzazz in our own ways, but you can't be upset at somebody else's hustle, somebody else's consistency. And like I tell everybody, your success level depends on your hustle and your determination and your perseverance and your consistency. I can tell you right now, it's hard as hell to be as busy as I am. It's hard. Do I love it? Am I thankful for it? Absolutely, but it's hard. Because what a lot of people don't know is I have lupus. So I could be in a flare and my body could feel like, man, somebody done hit me with a Mack truck. I could be in a flare and not be able to speak, but I will go on Clubhouse. I will answer for my mentees. I might sound like a platypus. And you just gonna have to figure it out. But I will be there because for your business, you have to show up every single day, same as you did for somebody else's business when you were working for them.
Yeah.
You didn't have set days off. Maybe you did. I mean, I was lucky because I was in a salaried position. But I can tell you right now, I didn't take days off. I took my vacation 1 week a year because I knew every December I was going to be on an island somewhere sipping something.
Yeah.
Like I knew every December because my birthday's in December. I knew that's when I was using my vacation time, but I didn't take days in between.
Yeah. Yeah. When I first started, it's crazy. I jumped 2 feet in. I jumped straight into it. So I wouldn't advise anybody to do what I did. I literally got commissioned before I even got an assignment. I said, peace, I'm out of here. I wouldn't advise nobody to do that.
But we're all different, you know,
right.
Like I would have never had I would have never been able to do it. Like I was scared even. I was like, well, I've been doing this a long time. There's some people who just like start out and they make it their primary business. And I'm like, I think that's amazing. Like y'all are better than me. I don't care how successful I am. I know I was scary. I was a scary ass. I was not doing that.
Same here. I was too.
That's fine.
Don't get twisted. I was scared to do it, but I was like, man, but just for my situation at the time, I was like, man, this is either now or never for me. So I was like, man.
But you got to weigh it because you weighed it. Like you have a family. So you were like, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it. Even when the days I don't feel like doing it, I'm like, I look at my kids and I'm like, I gotta go. Like today, I only had on my books, I was like, oh, it's gonna be late. I'm gonna have those 2 signings in the morning. Then somebody called me today and they were like, Dominique, I have this. Can you do this today? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, all right, send it to me. It was supposed to be for 5 o'clock. I called them. I said, well, what's your preference? Is 5 o'clock a good time for you? Or do you prefer earlier? And, they always are like, oh, well, if you could come now. And then next thing you know, I'm gone. Yeah. And I still made the rest of my appointments. So you have people who are like, that time is that set time. So they're declining stuff, but you still have to confirm the appointment.
Yeah.
Like you have a lot of leeway. Like tomorrow I'm choosing to do that one class and then I'm not doing nothing else. Like don't call me, don't text. Well, actually Tiara can call me because I told her she could call me, but nobody else could call me tomorrow because I'm not doing anything else. But it's a good thing in business, but you still have to hustle. Like I work 7 days a week. I do something for my business. I don't care if I don't have appointments that day. I'm doing something for my business, whether I'm creating TikToks and leaving them in my drafts. I'm setting marketing. I'm setting the plan and the tone. I'm creating posts and saving them or scheduling them to be posted for Instagram and Facebook. Whether I'm meeting with somebody to collaborate with them or I'm popping up on Clubhouse, I'm still doing something for my business because your drive and your hustle will put you in rooms that your name and your credentials are not gonna put you in.
Facts.
You're on social media. You think somebody's gonna be like, oh, let me see your commission. Now, do I have all my credentials in here? Can I put everything here? Yeah, I can. But nobody's ever been like, here, post them or something. Like you weren't like, oh, I got to see your commission to talk to me. No, it's all about, you can tell if somebody knows what they're talking about when you talk to them. It takes a 2-minute conversation to know if somebody's blowing smoke up your butt. Honestly.
Easily. Yeah, you get. Yeah, and that's one of my greatest strengths, in my opinion. I could read people. And I could tell if you bullshitting or not. I can tell.
Like when people are like, oh, I did this today for my business. I'm like, what'd you really do? Because I know you didn't do that. Like we know. That's why I love Zoom. I'm like, did you?
That part. Yeah, and then and this is a perfect segue because you talked about scheduling out your content. So I talk to notaries where they want to get out the content, like they love the idea of it, but they just, for some reason, they can't find the time to actually schedule it out, get the content created, use the apps, the technology that's available to us so they can, create the content, schedule it out, and still try to run their business at the same time. So I give a little bit of sauce to what I do. So Me, I do.
Don't give too much sauce because you
I
got
gotta give
that
it to him.
Zoom.
I
But
got
you
to.
got that Zoom on
I got to give.
the
I'll
10th,
be
the
doing them a
11th.
disservice. I'll be doing them a disservice if I don't give them a little bit. I got to give them a little bit.
Okay, give them a little
Got to
bit
give
because
them a
you know
little
we
bit.
got that Zoom
I know.
next
Got to
month.
give them a little bit. So
Okay.
for y'all that's listening out there, got to give y'all a little bit because that's I can't go to sleep not knowing I didn't give you some type of value, right? So as far as the content going, now you can create the way you can create your content. The way I like to do it, I just show my everyday life. What am I doing in my business? So if I say I'm a notary agency owner and I'm promoting a product that's trying to help you become a notary agency owner, well, I got to show you things that I do within my business that shows I'm a notary agency owner. I'm gonna show you everything that I do in my day-to-day process. So that's the kind of content I like to create. Now, as far as scheduling these things out, there's apps out there that can help you schedule out your content. So if you don't really have the budget necessary to bring on a VA, or if you're not, you don't feel like you're ready or comfortable enough to bring on an intern, anything of that nature, you can look into specific apps. You got Hootsuite, you got Buffer, you got Later, you got Planoly, you have all.
Canva will do it too. Canva will let you. They will let you schedule out too.
Shout out to HiveMind. That's another one that you can use as a CRM where you can plan out your social media as well. So if you feel like creating content and then trying to post at the same time is a little bit overwhelming, leverage the technology, leverage the apps that's available to you, because again, social media is pretty much like, I think for a majority of the notaries, that's pretty much your main marketing strategy. If you're not networking, you definitely need to be on these platforms, whether it's Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. I mean, you have to be active somehow, some way. So if you're listening out there, create the content, keep it very simple. Just create content based on what you do in your everyday life, and then get those apps, connect the account, and then just schedule it out at specific times throughout the day. And then make sure y'all tune in for that content creation where we'll dive in a little deeper into more on how to.
We will. And it's okay to do different content. Like there are people that are good at, like he's good at teaching you the day in the life, and he will do that. I am not good like that. I forget to put on my camera. Like I ran all day today, and guess what? I don't got not one image of me being outside. Like not one. I done been to FedEx and UPS, and y'all ain't gonna see neither one of them buildings.
I got to get that. See, and that's another thing too.
It's
you got to be conscientious
thing.
of that. You got to be conscientious of that too, because like I said, that content is a must. Like, shout out to my guy Charles. I never forget. He always said this. Like everything is content. Everything. So if I'm at FedEx, you're gonna get a video of me putting slapping the FedEx label on there. If you see, if I'm at a signing table, you're gonna catch me bringing out that stamp and getting them documents that's sitting at the signing table, right? If I'm driving to an appointment, you're gonna see me on that freeway. If I ride to the signer's house, if they in Timbuktu in the middle of nowhere, I'm gonna get a photo of some bulls or some cows or some animals that's out there. Like you have to see it. You got to see it. So when you're creating that content, just be conscientious of where you at and just show everything.
And be mindful. It's part of your business. It's part of your brand. Absolutely. I mean, I brand my content differently because I love teaching. There are people that don't like teaching or mentoring. They just don't like it. They're like, nah, don't call me. Like, figure it out, geez. Like, they don't want to. Me, I'm like, call me. I'll help you because I enjoy it. I enjoy teaching. I enjoy mentoring, but I feel like I'm a firm believer of you can't teach somebody anything if you're not touching it currently.
Right.
So I will always work no matter how many students I get, how many mentees I get, how many anything. That's just my personal belief. So my content is based off, okay, well, what can I make a post about that will really help somebody today that they don't know or they do need to know? So you basically have to market it true to you and true to your brand. Like there's no wrong way to do content. Well, yes, there is. So basically, if you're a notary, you can't be up there like twerking and being like stamp, 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 because that's who's that gonna resonate with? Like, what are you doing? Like,
all right, stamp,
you can't.
Stamp.
I'm just saying, like, I'm just saying. Now, will I be quick to use a TikTok sound and be like, and point to stuff here? Absolutely, I will. Now, will you see me dancing? No, because I can't dance. Now, if I could dance, I absolutely would. Like, but all I got is P. Diddy shoulders. That's it. I got this. So I got to use this. I got to use what I got.
And the bank had bounced one time or two.
Yeah, that's what you got to do. If you're good at it, then do it and make sure it's different, because guess what? If you're good at something, just because something comes easy for you doesn't mean it doesn't hold value.
Yeah.
So like, to whereas the way you do content comes easy for you, and it holds so much value because it attracts your ideal clientele, your ideal people. Like when I see your day in life, I'm like, man, that's my type of dude. Like he's hustling like me. But will you see my hustle? No, because I forget. So it's different.
But I also
do I need to get better on that? I do. But everybody will always have something they need to work on in business.
Facts. And I also want to let folks know too, like it didn't happen overnight. Like coming like prior to 2020, I was one of those kind of people where you didn't catch me on social media, because I'm not really a social. It's funny, I say I'm not a social media guy, even though I be on there like literally every day, but I'm on there for business reasons only. Like you'll never like really catch me talking about anything personal or nothing like that. That's just not how it was. But so for me, it was all about practice. So shout out to my guy Eddie. This is some advice he gave me, right? And he runs a social media marketing company. He said, right now, I'm terrible, and that's okay. Right now, I'm okay with being terrible. The next, I want to get to bad. Okay, I know I'm bad right now, but then from bad, I just want to get to okay. And then once you get to okay, I get to good. And then once I get to good, then I want to get to great. So I knew starting out was going to be a long-term process that was going to take place. And so coming into it, like you can't be afraid to try things. Like I'm not afraid to look stupid at all. Like I done had some posts that just went bomb where I thought, oh, this is about to go viral, and it absolutely didn't go viral at all, right?
Like my whole TikTok,
right.
my whole 2 like TikTok that I still do TikTok. Like, come on, like no. But I was against social media. Like because my past, I was not allowed to have social media.
Yeah.
It wasn't allowed. It wasn't allowed. So I was not allowed. So I was used to not having that. And then my friends are like, why aren't you on like Notary social media? Like it's a thing and you just have so much to add to it. And I'm like, well, who's going to follow me? Like nobody's going to follow me. Like I'm regular. Everybody knows what I know. They should.
Right.
But then you come on there and now I'm like, I have 1,200 people and like, they don't actually know everything that I know. So like, I do hold value. I do add something different. Like when I first thought of it, like Notary social media, I'm like, well, what are they really posting? Like I stamped, like, I was just like, I was looking at it in a negative aspect. But then when you realize like there's so many different people, and then it's the fact that I've inspired so many people to where they're like, and I love that. Like just the fact of, because I'm not going to tell you it's easy. It's not easy.
No.
When everything influxed and changed, like I always had my salaried position as a backup. So I didn't feel the hurt. There will be hurt. There will be slow times. There will be times where you're like, oh my God. And I'm not going to sit here and be like, I'm not pretty for YouTube. I'm not going to be like, yeah, make $1 million. No, I hustle my ass off. I work my ass off. Okay. And if I don't have appointments and say I have everything aligned for my business, I will go out and DoorDash. I will go Instacart. I will add my business card to every damn thing. Why? Because I'm not too good for that. And I know that I have my children that rely on me and I rely on me because I love what I do. Even when it's slow, I love what I do. I don't regret what I do at all, but it is hard.
Yeah.
It is hard. And you have to put work in. Nothing is going to be handed to you in this business. None of it.
The sooner you realize that, the better. You got to put the work in. You can't be afraid.
You have to put the work in, and you have to know what you're doing. Like you have to learn. You have to be able to add more, because if I didn't know what I was doing, I wouldn't have made the connections that I made or got the referrals that I got or been able to speak to certain people. Because at the end of the day, the only person you're in competition with is for me, is who I was yesterday, where I was a year ago. Like where I was a few months ago when I was against Notary social media, I thought it was stupid. I did. I was like, all I post is my kids. I finally got Instagram, so I just post my kids. And now I have Notary social media. I'm on Clubhouse, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. Like I'm just everywhere. but you don't understand how much you can inspire people and give them hope, because everything that is displayed looks all pretty and fine and glittery. So like you won't see a disgruntled client. You won't see, that's why some of my TikToks are funny, because it's like you'll walk in a home and they'll be arguing over the dinner table and you don't know what you walking into because they done fought. So it's weird. So it's like, it's important to just understand that things that you've gone through, they're important.
It's
Things
content.
that you experience is content.
It's content.
Even if you go get a new stamp, post your new stamp. You ain't playing. You got a baby one, a big one, do that. Because guess what? There might be a notary somewhere who didn't even know that they can get the big stamp because it's advertised for the little ones.
You never know who's paying attention.
And you never know if your story resonates with them. You can inspire a lot of people and you can make them feel comfortable, because this is scary, venturing out on your own. Even if you do still have a primary job, it's still scary. When you tell people, oh, well, I'm going to have my own business, you will have naysayers. You will have people who don't believe in you or your vision or your business plan.
It's exciting in the beginning. I'm going to start a business.
Yeah. Until you're like, I got to make a business plan. What is that? Hold on. Like, you're like, what?
Once you get rejected a few times, because the excitement is, you think you're finna make $1 million in your first year, initially, but then you got to get your ass kicked a few times, and then that's when it settles in. Then we really gonna know if this is something that you really want to do moving forward.
I had people tell me no. I got declined for business credit. I had people tell me no. I had people not choose to go with me. Did it break me? Was it kind of like, man,
it ain't the end of the world either. That's why,
so I was like, okay, you're not my ideal client. Oh well. And you learn to do that. You're not going to resonate with everybody. Not every client, not every person, not everybody on social media. No, it's life. Not everybody's going to like you.
Facts. Let's talk about the notary community. The notary community is one of the, salute to Paris. She keeps barking in the background, y'all. So sorry if y'all can hear my dog. But talk about the being a part of the notary community. This is one of the only communities that I've ever been a part of the business where the majority of everyone is very supportive of each other and are willing to go out of their way to help each other and also refer them business. Because I've been in the business for about 5 years, and I want to say since I started the agency, where I actually do have to collaborate and work with other notaries, that's when I started to realize, like, oh, notaries, it's really important to actually build relationships with other notaries, because me, I'm thinking a business is going to come from the attorneys, it's going to come from the title companies, the realtors, the lenders, the private security firms, financial institutions. Well, I'm thinking that's where all the business is going to come from. But it's actually the notaries that's going to position you to get new business. Right. Yeah. So talk about the importance of being in the notary community and how that's, surrounding yourself with other notaries that's been supportive of you. Like, how's that impacted your business?
So notary community and notary support is more than just getting business from them, because they will inspire you. Yes. They will help you, because you will be in a rut where you don't feel creative, and then you'll see something, you're like, oh, I could kind of make that my own. Like, I can use that, and you'll see that like everybody wants everybody to win. Most people, there are bad apples in every industry, but most of us, it wasn't handed to us. This is not some empire. Like, this is not a franchise. This is something that we've all had to work on. We all had to bring, we all had to fall. We all had to pivot. We all came into this with one plan and we were like, this is what we're going to do. Then you know what? The market wasn't there for that. The need wasn't there for that. So we had to pivot. But you get inspiration from other notaries. And I didn't realize how beautiful a notary community was until I actually started talking to people, because, I was more so like a lone wolf, because in my background, I was not allowed to have friends. Like, I was married to somebody who I wasn't allowed to have social media, wasn't allowed to have friends. I wasn't allowed to do anything. Like, I had to say I was working if I wanted to go see my best friend. Like, I was not allowed. So it was hard for me, coming from that mindset, to be like, hi, I'm Dominique. until I was able to find my voice. And then I was like, you know what? And then I started talking to people. I remember the first time I talked to Grizel, she was like, girl, how long have you been doing this? I was like, well, 6 years at this point. I'm like, but that's nothing. And she was like, what? Where are you from? And we had a conversation and we were cracking up. It ended up being late at night. We were sending voice notes on Instagram. It was funny. Then the first time I was on the stage with Uncle Griff. Do you know Uncle Griff?
Yeah, I'm aware of the brother.
First time I was on Clubhouse stage with him, he intimidated the hell out of me with the way he spoke. I was like, because he's very like firm in his beliefs and everything. And I was like, he makes me nervous, but he's the sweetest man as can be. So I was just like, okay. Like now I'm like, did you have chicken teriyaki today? So he has to learn to love me. Why? Because that's just who I am. But it's still a beautiful community. Like there's days where you won't feel like doing it and you won't feel inspired. You won't feel creative. There's a notary here in Texas where I've never been in the same room with her. And she like reached out to me and she was like, hey, I have this client that I can't take care of today. I know you're in the area. Can you take it? And when I tell you, I really needed that appointment that day, starting out here, I needed it. Like I cried because I was like, I don't think I'm going to make it as a New Yorker in Texas. Like I cried. And she gave me that one appointment and it branched relationships for me. It opened doors for me. I wasn't taking my Google My Business page seriously until I got in the Clubhouse room with Jim Allen and he's in Idaho. Like, when the hell am I going to go to Idaho? I would have never, ever got value from somebody until I was like, I put myself in notary social media and I was like, because, everybody, I had to Google My Business page, like, because I'm New York. So I had a Google My Business page for when I used to make t-shirts and sell t-shirts and I never touched it. But I got business because, everybody Googles things. But now you're in the age to where you're like, okay, you do have to get reviews and SEO value. I didn't know what the hell a SEO was. I had no idea. And I have 2 degrees. I went to college, they didn't say SE nothing. So I didn't, like, you don't know. It doesn't matter what accolades you have because they don't apply here. They don't. And it's like the fact that they were willing to like give me information because they saw what I was missing. And me, I was missing my internet presence. I have all my knowledge. I could do it with my eyes closed, but I didn't have an internet presence. Now I have somebody trying to convince me to go live. You have 1,200 followers and you're not going live with them? Like, what the hell? And I'm like, what am I going to do? Eat? Like, what am I doing? I'm like, what am I going to do with them? Eat? What if they don't come on with me? Because me, I'm insecure in that aspect because I'm going to be like, hey guys, like, I don't know what to say.
You haven't gone on live yet?
No.
Okay, we need you to go on live.
No, I have a bunch of people convincing me, but you and Grizel, like, y'all are quick. Y'all be like, hey, and y'all will post your videos. Y'all are awesome with that. Tiara does it, not me.
We're gonna put it out there, y'all. Dominique is going live. Be on the lookout for that. She's gonna go on IG live. I'm gonna go on with her.
Eventually I shall.
Next week.
But you won't be able to do, and you are the one that convinced me to release my digital content. I was sitting on my book for 6 months before I spoke to you.
That's pressure. You need that. We all need that friend, that positive peer pressure, because you'll be in your own head. You'll be like, oh no, should I do it? I was
like, yeah, I've only done 28, and you were like, what?
Yeah, I didn't understand that. It's like, you got 28 pages. I'm like, what you sitting on?
Like, what? I was like, what? And then you were like, okay, what's in your book? I'm like, yeah, it's a 62-page book about apostilles and making it easy to understand. And you're like, why are you sitting on it? And then you lit the fire because there was a bunch of people on the Zoom. And then they all started messaging me. And I was like, damn, okay, let me upload it. So it's like, you won't get that unless you connect with people. And it's like, in that aspect, like, I didn't think anybody wanted what I had drafted for myself. Like, I didn't think that they did. But it's important to connect with people because they'll be that, You won't get the support you need from, I don't care what anybody says, from your family and friends, because they are not going to understand what the hell a notary does, what we have to incur, what we have to deal with, what our trial and tribulations are. They are not going to understand.
I got
that is going to be alien language.
Yeah. So for all y'all that's listening out there, if you somebody that's new that wants to start a business, I don't know, whatever it is that you're doing, a new entrepreneur, I just want to let you know, outside of your mother and your father, they're not going to support you.
They are not. They're going to think you're crazy. And you'll be lucky if they even share your post.
So I want y'all to come into it. So when they don't share your stuff, when they also, they don't buy your new product, don't take it personal, because you heard it here from Stamp. They're not going to support it. Now, if they do support you, by all means, you got a great family. Not to say you don't have a great family, but just know coming into this, don't expect they support, because really the strangers is going to get you to where you want to get to. And it took me a minute for me to understand
the people in the notary community, you connect with people in the notary, they'll be faster to share your page. Like I share people's pages and I ain't never met them. They never took a class from me or nothing. Or if they follow me and I see, I'm like, oh, well, they only have 8 followers. Let me see. And I'm quick to make a post. Show them some love. They're new, whatever, because guess what? I was new too. I'm still new at the social media game. I don't have everything down packed, and you need to resonate with somebody who can tell you. I know what works for me. I can give you the tools that have helped me, but will never sit in front of somebody and say, you know what? I don't got to study. I don't got to learn nothing new. I don't got to pivot. That's a lie. They are a liar, and they have a trust fund. I don't care what anybody says. Like they have a trust fund. They're not hustling.
All right. So wrapping it up at the end, this has been a dope episode. Where do you see your notary business in the next, what do you envision for the next 5 to 10 years within your business? Where do you see your business going?
I want to open up here in Texas. There is a lack of teaching. So like the courses that I do on an individual basis and like the Zoom courses and the group courses that I teach, I want to eventually open up a brick and mortar for notary work, and as a mentorship and as programming refreshers, all of it. That is where, because I love teaching. I also want to continue notarizing. So I do want to be able to facilitate that, but I want it in a multiple facet asset. So like to be able to hold the virtual class as well as the in-person class simultaneously, just to be able to do that and give that. And because there's a lot of people that come out here and they don't know what they're doing, or they're not confident, or they went on YouTube and somebody swayed them, or they decided to start a business and they weren't making money fast enough. So their husband was like, you better go somewhere else. No, divorce him. I don't care what you say. I'll notarize it. Believe in yourself.
Right. That's a bar. Believe in yourself, y'all. Stop listening to these people. They ain't not trying to do what you're trying to do. So.
And market to notaries too, because guess what? I can't notarize my own stuff. And neither can you. So it's good to have people to, whereas you'll need a notary eventually for something.
It's nothing. Connect with notaries, y'all, because a particular notary may offer a service that you may not offer. And then
they can train you on it.
And you may offer a service that they don't particularly offer. So if they get a request for a particular service that they don't offer, and they know you offer that service, they go to referrals, they go to synergy, they go to referral partnerships. So connect with other notaries, y'all. That's where it's at. But plug everything in. Where can they find you on social media? Where can they support your products? Where can they learn more about you and how they can be tuned in?
Everything is the same at Signed by Dominique, one word. So it's SIGNEDBYDOMINIQUE. That's on all social media, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, everything. My links to my digital products and everything are in my bio, or if you go directly to Gumroad, I sell all my digital stuff on Gumroad, and it's still the same, Signed by Dominique. But you can always reach out to me. Please don't feel like I'm not accessible. I do get back to everybody. I feel like pretty fast. I do. The only time it'll take me a little longer is if I am in a current appointment, but I always have this guy in too. So please, if you have any questions or if you just need somebody to tell you you could do this, I'm here. I have no problem being here because everybody needs somebody to speak life into them, because not everybody has anybody speaking life into their business, and you're going to get that support from your notary business, because people are haters. I don't care if it's your daddy.
Yeah.
They could be a hater.
Yeah, stay away from the snooty
You might have
folks,
married
y'all.
a hater. Yes.
Yeah,
And don't let nobody be like, well, did you know? No.
Right. Stay away from them snooties, y'all. Yeah. You read your handbook? Huh? You don't know your president?
Unless they're gonna tell you, and that's how you respond to them. No, well, show me.
All right. You
And
can't
if they
charge
can't
that
show
for a
you,
travel fee. You can't do that.
why not? Travel fees aren't regulated. Please.
Stay away from them people, y'all.
My fee is whatever I feel like at that moment. If I took my shoes off and I don't feel like putting them back on, then it's a high fee for me to want to put them back on at that time.
Right.
Trust.
Because one thing is for sure, the title companies, the attorneys, the other institutions, they're not paying the actual notary rates.
They are not. They taking a cut. Because have you ever looked at the Alta and it says notary, and you look at that fee and you're like, I got.
Yeah, we got you're notarizing 10 to 15, 20 signatures.
Or when you get that whole separate page and it's like for them to sign, and it's like the notary fee is, and you get handed to your signer and they're like, oh, you're getting that?
Right. And it's really supposed to be more. So just learn how to play the game, y'all. You play the game how it's supposed to be played. You're gonna win in the end. And just surround yourself with like-minded people that want to see you win. Stay away from the folks that's negative. They always complaining. They don't want to take no action. They don't want to make no changes. They're not willing to educate themselves on how to actually improve within the business, So that's that.
And don't let nobody tell you it's not easy. It's not hard, because they're lying, and they have a trust fund. And you could send them to me if they say I'm lying. Yeah. They got a trust fund because it's hard. It's hard work. You got to work. You have to do it.
Ain't no way around it. Well, I appreciate you, Dominique, for tapping in with the Stamper podcast. This is a very dope episode. I haven't had too many episodes where we talk about marketing for notaries, but this is going to do numbers. I'm hoping that it's going to do numbers. I know it's a lot of value that the notaries going to take away from here, especially on the content creating and social media side. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. Make sure y'all like and subscribe to the Stamper Digital YouTube channel. Make sure y'all subscribe on the podcast as well. And until next time, y'all, appreciate y'all for tapping in with me. Peace.